Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. And it is time for the after party. Still stupid. I don't know why I do it. You know why I'm here. Some of you saw. I was minding my own business. I was playing a video game, having fun. And it's like, I should go out there and see what's going on in the world. And so I turned on Twitter. Not my smartest move, man. Not my smartest move, because I know what's going to happen when I go there. Something's going to piss me off. Something's going to annoy me. And like clockwork, yeah, fucking happened. And this time it was old Chucky Schumer. Chucky Schumer, he's senator from New York. For those of you who don't know him, he's a gargoyle-looking shitbag of a human being. He's got the same bloodline as Amy Schumer. So you just know his vagina smells like a small barnyard animal. The guy's absolutely a dick. But it was his specific tweets today that made me go, what the hell are you talking about, sir? His latest one, the last one I saw right before, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm doing this. Was him, he tweeted out, as former Defense Secretary Mattis wrote last week, Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who doesn't try to unite the American people. Seems every day provides fresh evidence that this country will have to unite in spite of its president, not because of him. Obama wasn't that long ago. Obama famously said that people were going to get upset and the bitter clingers will cling to their Bible and guns. Anybody who disagrees with him. Anybody who disagreed with Obama was called a racist. And nobody in the Democratic Party stood up and went, no, they're not racist. They just disagree with us. I know, they're fucking racist. Obama let it happen. Obama encouraged it. He could have been my son. Talking about Trayvon Martin. He could have been my son. Why? Were you just randomly fucking a lot of people? Or you just mean because he's a black kid? I just, you fucking liar. Chucky, you fucking liar. Rudicus Prime, thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt, PSA. Repossession companies are open again. Make sure your car notes are deferred or paid up. Signed, a friendly lot attendant. There you go. Thank you so much for the donation and the PSA. And John Miller, thank you. Could we chuck Chuckles into the chuck wagon? I don't know what we can do with that asshole other than to point and laugh at him when he says stupid shit like this. There's enough division out there without having to cause more. Without, he's the worst guy ever. Shut the fuck up. Pincalo, thank you. You can't see the hashtag if you don't check Twitter. Which hashtag? I purposefully went to Twitter. I wanted to see what was going on in the world. Now, if you mean I couldn't get upset, I could still get upset. I could just go read news. The only president in Chucky's lifetime who doesn't seek to unite people. Y'all know how old Chucky is? The motherfucker's been around for a long time. He's not a young man. It is amazing to me how recent history is forgotten. But it's even more amazing to me that people fall for this shit. That they fall for it. Yes, he is the only one who's tried to divide us. Really? Chucky. Chucky's an asshole. He really is. And he's kind of proud of being an asshole. And yeah, he looks like a goddamn gargoyle. Where's the other one? No. Is it this one? No. There was another one I responded to that I wanted to talk about because he was talking about the way Trump is not bringing us together, not bringing us back together. Give me a second. I'll find this one. This one. Americans are taking to the streets crying out for justice and policing reform. But President Trump appears too preoccupied trying to emulate Richard Nixon to even try to lead. Too preoccupied with his own political precariousness to even try to bring American people together. Oh, Chucky. Now, thank you, Okie Native. Chuck might have been around for the crucifixion. Yeah, he's old as fuck, man. I only bring up this tweet specifically because we talked about how Chuck, as a leader in the Senate, tried to bring people together, tried to, unite people after all of the contentiousness we've seen in the streets. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Most of us are proud of it. I'm not sure what we're proud of, but I appreciate the donation. Sorry, I know when you guys say that, that came up really quick. I probably said something 3 seconds ago. I just don't have the memory for it. I need memory foam brain. Anyway, Chucky, he staged a photo op, you guys, and we talked about it the other day, and we showed it, but I want to bring it up again because I don't know if Chuck Schumer's racist. I really don't. This is going by their rules. And when you pull this kind of tokenism bullshit, this is tokenism. That's racist, isn't it? That's what I've been told. This is something he proudly posted to his Twitter, along with 2 other pictures that show you just how staged this is. Maybe I'll pull those up too so we can get a good look at it. But he grabbed the 2 black people he could find, Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, and they stood in front of a statue of Frederick Douglass for a photo op, and has the nerve to talk about, you're just preoccupied with your precarious. Fuck you fucking dick. You absolute cock. Look at this picture. You should be ashamed of this. This is tokenism. Give me the blackies. Bring them back here. I need a picture. And you're going to call someone else out, you fucking lunatic? You disgrace of a human being? I don't know if you guys can see it, but Cory Booker, let's see if it blows up, if we can see it better. Nah, you can't. If you look at the actual picture, Cory's eyes are kind of like, it's almost like Chuck might have just farted and he's like, what the fuck? Thank you, Chris Jones. The Wannabe Friends guy commented on your vid. The Wannabe Friends guys have been commenting on my vids for months, like easily 6. Yeah, he's always around. As long as you don't go to whatever site he's promising to help you get viewers from, you'll be fine. That's going to cost it. No, people didn't do that. The fuck they didn't. How else did he get a hold of your information? Never mind. I'm backing off of that. I want to go. Let's see. Yeah, here's the other pictures. This is the picture from up on high. Joe Faps, thank you. Abe looking down from heaven. Why did I freeze? Now stop that. You're gonna get me in trouble. And anyhow, here's the picture. Notice all the honkies lined up, and they grabbed. Here's Schumer. This is Kamala, and this is Booker from that picture. And notice how they're facing this way. Everybody else is facing that way. So they get that. This is probably the chick who took that picture. Get that perfect picture lined up with Chucky showing how much he cares about the blacks, because he's got 2 to his left, one to his left, one to his right, and one right behind him. None equal with him. Just want to point that out. None of them are standing equal with him, which they could have easily accomplished lining it up right here and taking the picture. No. He's in front of Kamala. He's way in front of Cory. And yeah, he's in front of Frederick Douglass. He is a racist shithead. Is that statue doing blackface? No, it's Frederick Douglass, man. He is black, or was. He's ash now, or whatever we turn into after we go back into the ground. But you're going to call out Trump for worrying about politics? Really? There's nothing but politics in that picture. It's straight up tokenism. And I can't believe that this fucking shithead had the balls to put up all three pictures, because there's actually another one that's from in front of the group so you can see the same thing. But he posted all of them so you can see it. He's proud of it. Look, I put myself with the black people. You fucking disgusting piece of shit. Robert says, it's my birthday today. I am 41. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Robert. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Robert. I hope you have a great one. I really do. Chucky Schumer, man. Every time I see one of his posts, my fucking IQ goes down. That guy's a goddamn moron. But you know who else is a goddamn moron? AOC. I got to talk about this one, guys, because I saw this. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, there's been all the rioting and stuff going on. And suddenly COVID doesn't matter anymore. Well, the riots are kind of quieting down. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Look, I have black friends. Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer 2020. You need to put that in there. I don't know if he's ever pulled that tokenism crap before. But Jesus, man. Jesus. That was, you didn't even try to hide it, Chuck. Come on. At least put a little effort into your pandering racist shit. Anyway, AOC tweeted this out earlier. If you've been to a demonstration, you should be tested for COVID-19. The sites below were prioritized for protesters by the state. They are appointment only, and then she gives testing sites. I want to read that part again. Prioritized for protesters. Why? Why are they getting priority over anyone? I mean, I get it because they're out there and they put themselves at huge risk, and there's a good chance they're running around carrying it now. But why priority? I don't get that. I don't understand. Like, you went out there and you did something fucking stupid. We're going to put you at the front of the line. Nah, your dumbass should be waiting in line with everyone else. I don't understand the priority part of it. These people went out there, they destroyed property. They were not social distancing at a time when you got this fucking virus going on. And as the steam runs out of it, people are like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have been supporting that. Maybe we should do something to address the fact we were just cheering on all these fucking morons standing in large groups, often with no face covering on, yelling and screaming. You know what happens when you yell and scream? Saliva comes out of your mouth. It actually shoots out. You can see it in slow-mo if you watch it in videos. Thank you, Anthony Vogel. Struggle session. Look it up. We are at that point. I don't know what that is, but I'll look it up later. You have these people who went out there and put their grandmas in danger. This is what we were told. You got to social distance. You got to stay home because it puts grandma in danger. And then Floyd gets killed and it becomes looting season. And don't tell me these people went out there and they looted because they actually gave a shit about George. They didn't. They went out there and looted because they wanted free shit. And now, it's a bad idea to have a whole bunch of people in a tight group like that. Now, I want to be clear here. I think a lot of the COVID shit is overblown and bullshit. I've been saying that since the beginning. You can check me. People got very mad at me for saying so. I think it's overblown and bullshit. But if you're going by their rules, none of them should have been outside. And every fucking liberal politician out there should have been like, stay home. I understand you're upset, but stay home. These are the people who decided that the guys going to North Carolina rallies and Michigan rallies, they're racist because they want to go back to work. Don't pay no attention to the black people in the group. Shh. Don't look at those people. It's a bunch of white racists. And they had guns. And they want to kill your grandma. The looters go out. Let's even go with just the protesters. Let's say just the protesters. If you're going to protest the people who are, if you're going to speak out against the protesters who were out there against the lockdowns, then you absolutely have to, if you're going to have any kind of consistency at all, speak out against the ones who are even peacefully protesting over George Floyd. Those two things they're married, especially considering the crowds were so much bigger and so much rowdier and often, not even covered. How do you justify it in your head that one's okay? Especially when you've been trying to preach to us that COVID kills black people and goes after black people. And it's a black people disease. People don't care because it's hitting. No, that's not what it was about. But if that's what you're going to say, why don't you care? Why don't you care? Oh, because white supremacy is deadlier than COVID. Really? COVID's killed 100,000 people in the country so far. How many people can you say this year absolutely died because of white supremacy? Where you can say, not a shadow of a doubt, that's what killed them. And Robert, I already sang to you, my friend. Back it up right after you said it. I mean, I'll sing again if you want, but happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday again, Robert. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Check out the other one. It was much better. And Gamer, Arizona, the libs call it protesting for haircuts. Well, yeah, I mean, that became the thing. And it was all because of a lot of people needed haircuts. And that was something that people said they wanted. And then you had the one beauty salon that opened up in, where was that? Texas? I forget where it was, but the one where they threw her ass in jail and the judge was like, "You're a bad person." And she's like, "I just want to be able to feed my family." Yeah, the haircuts became the thing. But it doesn't matter what it was for opening. If you were out there, you were a horrible person. And they like to point to that picture, the picture of the guy yelling in the cop's face. And if you actually look at the picture, you can tell he's not yelling in that cop's face. They're not lined up. And he's on record. They've interviewed this man. He's like, "I wasn't yelling at the cop. I was yelling at a legislator behind the cop." The police said these people were absolutely peaceful. These people were so peaceful, they lined and had their fucking temperatures taken before they went in to storm the castle. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm tired and annoyed, and it makes me a happy person.
Nice.
Yeah, it's what I do. I was just reading, Jack, in New York City, they have testing sites that are prioritizing tests for the protesters.
What?
They're prioritizing the COVID tests for protesters. I feel like that. Look, I don't mind them having tests. By all means, get a test. But I don't think they should be prioritized over anyone else, especially what if grandma needs a test? Shouldn't she be prioritized before that jackass?
No, that's where they're going to stick the sick people, remember? Straight into the nursing homes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
That's saving tax dollar money, dude.
Plus, don't forget, I mean, if you get rid of the old people, Trump loses.
It's true.
You got to kill the boomers because they're the ones who voted for Trump. Trump and Brexit, that's old people's fault. They're the ones who made that shit happen. I don't understand. You guys get priority. Go fuck yourself. They don't deserve priority. They deserve condemnation. Fuck.
Condemnation. They deserve condemnation for condoms?
Yes. They deserve condemnation. And not for me, Jack. I'm like I said, I think they've overblown the COVID thing from the start. I've said that. But this is coming from AOC. This is coming from the liberals. They were the ones that, hey, you can't go outside. That's going to kill grandma.
Well, you see, there are some things more important than grandma.
Yeah, apparently.
And that's systematic racism or some shit like that.
I'm just tired of stupid, Jack.
Well,
Coming from our
buckle in.
fucking leaders.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. These people are self-serving assholes. They think this is how they'll get reelected. So they don't give a fuck about anybody's life except their own.
Well, speaking of that, let me. Did you see Biden's tweet just a little while ago?
No, I've been offline all day.
All right, let's bring this one up because I read them like, are you kidding? So Trump had tweeted out that NASDAQ hits all-time high 5 hours ago. And instead of like, cool, that's a great thing for the economy, Joe Biden tweets out, 13 million people who had jobs when you took office are unemployed today. Thank you, Red Fawn, for the banana. That's very kind. And thank you, John Migda, who says, you seen the new George footage? No. What came out? It's not untrue that 13 million people don't have jobs that used to.
Yeah, that's the pandemic. That's not Trump.
No, exactly. I'm getting real tired of that line because it keeps coming up. Liberals are trying to grab onto that one real hard. Donald Trump took all these jobs from us, except he didn't.
You know who took jobs from us? A fucking disease and a bunch of overzealous politicians.
Yep.
So I don't really think that's Trump. He largely stayed out of things.
He did. He let the states do what they needed to do, and it's actually how he should have reacted.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. When everyone is racist, no one is racist. Well, that saying doesn't work with racism. Just more proof racism doesn't work. It doesn't, but yeah, I get what you're saying there. Yeah. You can't blame Trump for the job loss. If you're going to blame somebody, blame your local politicians, your state politicians. Those are the ones who did it. Donald Trump stayed out of it. He came out and they had the government recommended guidelines, but they didn't force anything. And you know, the funny part about that, Jack, is there were people mad because he didn't. There were people mad that Donald Trump wasn't more authoritarian than he was. They were like, you need to go out there and take over everything. And he didn't. And they're like, shit. And now with the riots, when he sends out, he's threatening to send out the military because governors and mayors won't take care of their own fucking streets. When he should kind of get involved, they're like, look at what he's doing, you guys.
He's such an authoritarian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he can't win either way. So he should just kind of play it a little safe, close to the vest, and let history decide, because it's getting ridiculous. This whole thing is getting insanely ridiculous. We're letting crazy people make decisions now. If you thought 5 years ago you'd see cops licking the boots of local black leaders who were self-appointed, you'd have laughed in my face.
Real quick over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Anthony Vogel, who had told me to look up struggle session. He says the aim of a struggle session is to shape public opinion and humiliate, persecute, or execute political rivals and class enemies. Used around the Cultural Revolution in China, it's not enough to be racist. You must be anti-racist, and you must show it. Well, Jack, this goes back to me talking about Chucky Schumer at the beginning of this, because Chuck Schumer is accused Donald Trump basically of being too political. He's too worried about his politics to actually come out and say, something leadership-wise, to be a good leader.
From Chuck Schumer? That's hilarious.
Someone pulled up that picture of him where he used Kamala and Cory Booker as, tokens to stand in front of the Frederick Douglass statue.
Yeah, classic.
Tokenism is racism. That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
And that's quite clearly what happened in that picture. So shut the fuck up, Schumer. Where were we? I got distracted there. Oh, we're talking about the economy getting broken down and the way they're lying about this man. And if you don't like the way he did things, that's fine, but you can't blame everything on him when you're mad at him for not doing anything. He didn't do anything. Okay, who did? Your state leaders. They're the ones who destroyed your economy. There's where your jobs went. You want to know who to blame after that? The people who were cheering on the riots, because that's going to have a devastating effect on several economies.
Yeah.
The overall economy, probably not too much, but several cities are going to be fucked. Chuck looks so out of his element, he might as well be wearing a pith helmet when he's around black people. I don't know how much time Chuck's, he doesn't, I can't imagine he's got like actual black friends. I don't want to sound racist, but I mean, I feel like Chuck don't hang out with black people.
Unless they're Justin Trudeau and Blackface, I suspect you're correct.
I mean, he might have a couple who, work in his house. But as for, any kind of real interaction, I don't know. It doesn't seem like something he would do.
I agree.
I think the tokenism was racist. I don't know if he's actually racist, guys, but that part was. And don't be out there pulling your bullshit. You're just playing politics when you're clearly playing fucking politics. Jack, did you see that goddamn picture of when the House did their kneel? And
yeah, with the little scarves on.
They're wearing scarves in I don't even know if that's
some kind of African thing. I think it's one of those things that Americans invented in the 80s, part of the Back to Africa movement.
Do people in Africa need scarves?
I don't know why, unless it's some kind of religious thing.
It's not real cold over there.
I don't think there's any snow. I would be surprised. Other than like the mountains, and there's not a whole lot of mountains there.
I just love that they all have this on and they're kneeling down there. They're wearing this pseudo-African garb, kneeling down, taking the position of the man who killed George Floyd for 8 minutes, and then Nancy couldn't get up on her own.
Oh, of course not.
She had to have help. You know why? Because she's old as fuck and probably drunk. I'm just running with it now, Jack. I'm going with the bullshit. I'm steering into the spin.
Might as well. It's all gonna burn down at some point. You might as well just enjoy the flames.
Yeah, fuck it. She's a drunk. I don't care. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. You can't say Nancy's a drunk. I know. She's a wino. It's different.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Nothing for you here is they're blatantly pandering. You think? I feel you might be onto something, sir.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of blatant pandering going on these days. It's pathetic. These people are disgusting.
Gamer Valine, thank you. Kente Cloth from Ghana. I'll take your word for it. I have a feeling those were American made.
From Ghana? Oh, I think that's insulting to the Congolese.
I'm waiting for one of them to come out in a loincloth and with the neck stretching thingies.
Oh, they have to have the bone in the nose.
Yeah, with your titties hanging out, Nancy. Show me you actually care about that African culture. Fucking pandering bitch.
What, are they going to dress up like Zulus and attack the neighboring natives from South Africa? And try and conquer them? Because that was a thing.
Why don't you go full on blackface? You're already pandering.
Dude,
just show your inner Negro.
If Chuck Schumer thought it would benefit his political career, he'd put on a solo minstrel show.
Oh, he would. Yeah. He probably used to like them back in the day.
He probably still does. What are you talking about? He seems like a total political hypocrite.
Oh, I mean, so many of them are. But he's old enough to have actually seen those.
That's true.
He was in the front row. His dad bought him popcorn so they could go laugh at the darky.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
I'm just tired of this stupid. I really am.
It's going to get worse, man.
Just steering into it now, man. Fuck it. Just enjoy the show. Tucker Carlson is racist, Jack. Tucker Carlson was talking about how Democrats especially in inner cities and in large cities that we see all this kind of violence and stuff in. Oh, real quick, thank you, Anthony Vogel. Kneel to Zod. I don't kneel. No, what? Kneel to my wife and little butt if she wants me to.
Yeah, I've been using that meme more and more. The picture of Zod with the Obama campaign thing, because that's what this is. This is supplication. You will kneel before us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why they're adopting it. They want people to get used to kneeling.
So Tucker comes out and he says that they are destroying things. They don't actually care about black people. And then he says, when they come for you, and it's getting more and more likely that they will. Let me find the exact quote here, Jack. I don't want to take him out of context. I called somebody a fucking moron earlier. Actually, what I call him? A goddamn idiot. That's what it was. Here's the quote. This may be a lot of things, the moment we are living through, but it's definitely not about black lives. And remember that when they come for you, at this rate, they will. And then he goes on to talk about how they're just going to be out to destroy you, and that anybody who's had the hate mob come after them will understand what it's like. And I think he says, and understand the urge to panic, I think is how he said it. But these assholes over on Twitter, they cut it off there. It's not about black lives. And remember, when they come for you, and at this rate, they will. To make it sound like he's talking about the Negro's going to get you.
That's not what he's saying. He's talking about the mob, which is usually middle-class white people.
It's not even close to what he was saying. But trending on Twitter is a hashtag Tucker Carlson is a racist because of this. Twisted Skipster, thank you. Why, hello, you sexy Simeon and Jack. Hello back.
Hello. Yeah, somebody threw Crystal knocked in the chat. Yeah, I already did. That's kind of what this is. You have to completely destroy your enemy. And that's been done before by the people they claim they're fighting.
Well, I mean, it's weird to see the tactic being so effectively used these days. And I wonder how much of it is because of how many people have been kicked off or have abandoned Twitter and Facebook and just like, fuck it, I'm not dealing with this shit.
Well, look at all the people whose lives have been destroyed. You see that enough times and you know to shy away from it. They will completely annihilate your life if they get you in their sights. If they can, they will. And there's lots of people that they do. So eventually, this is the path to like re-education camps and gulags.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really scary thought. But this is how that sort of thing gets started. You get enough people that are deemed like wrong thinkers, and you have to re-educate them. It's scary stuff if you look at it from the history perspective of what has been done through communism and fascism to people that are deemed wrong thinkers. And more, we see the same tactics being used by these loons. So it's just kind of something I would regard as a foregone conclusion that if they can't destroy your life, they'll throw you in jail and re-educate you, or a facility they'll treat it like a mental illness.
Yeah.
And lock you in a facility where you're in with a bunch of crazies and you have to prove that you're going to be a good little participant in society.
This is the danger of hate speech. This is the real danger that comes with hate speech, you guys. It's not just that they silence you. It's that if you make hate speech laws, that's what can happen. You can literally end up in jail over what you say. And then you have to learn not to say those things. You have re-educated.
Yeah, they'll couch it in soft terms. That's what they used to do, and especially under like various communist systems. But you have to be real careful what you say around people now, and that's a horrifying idea, because this has been allowed to permeate in society and percolate. If you say that you don't think Black Lives Matter is a productive group, you can lose your Amazon account. You can lose your bank account. You can be kicked off social media platforms, so you have no access to the town square. You're socially ostracized on personal and public levels.
Real quick, Zan Wild, thank you so much. I'm not going to lie. I'm utterly terrified. I'm getting there. All kidding aside, I mentioned this to Jack off the air right after we got off the air the other night. It's like, I'm actually starting to get worried.
Yeah, we should be. This has infected every aspect of our culture now.
And thank you, Professor Chaos. People need to start suing for being fired for this stuff when it's more about appeasing the mob than actual policy violations.
That's hard too, because you can fire people for political stuff.
Yeah, especially if they do it on social media and they have anything on their social media that it attaches them to the company. That's why I tell people never, ever, and not for doxing reasons, but never put where you work.
Yeah, because
then they can go, no, they're showing as a representative of our company, and we don't appreciate that.
Yeah,
Gamer Valine, thank you. That's why I tagged you in the South Park meme. Yeah, I love that South Park episode. I actually did a parody video of that with Bill Maher and Ice Cube. Go look that one up. That was fun. That one took me a long time. I replaced Randy's face with Bill Maher's, or with Bill Maher's, and Jesse Jackson's with Ice Cube so that he kisses his ass to apologize. It's some of my better work. I feel like it wasn't appreciated enough.
No,
and HBO sure as fuck didn't like it.
Well, of course not.
They're still mad at me for that one. They've never released the copyright on that one. Or the other one that I did.
Well, of course not. Nothing for you here says separating people from their social circles makes them anxious and violent. The people doing this know that. That's true. And what they want is to brandish your entire side as being hysterical, violent sociopaths. So I think that they're trying to create a violent white supremacist movement that they can say, see, we told you that they're this way. Because that's going to be part of the response. Is a lot of people are going to get fired for innocuous things like saying all lives matter, that sort of thing. And eventually they start joining groups together to try and create some sort of social circle because theirs has been destroyed, or to create some sort of network where they can actually like do commerce or things that they've been kicked out of. And eventually that gets labeled as a hate group. And one of them will do something violent, kill some people, something like that. Try to. And then they could use that as the example for, see, all these people over here are violent.
And somebody's going to do it because there's always an idiot out there.
Yeah. And it's a predictable response. If somebody has nothing left to lose, they have nothing left to lose. And they will throw their morals to the wind. And it's an anger response, but it's a predictable one.
Hold that thought for just a second. Jason Greer's, thank you. Dogs are racist. Cat lives matter. I agree. I love cats. And Okie Native says, hey, I'm not hysterical. Well, good. Don't be hysterical.
Yeah, don't be hysterical.
You know, Jack, I don't think it even needs to be that much. I don't think you have to push regular people into being lunatics. You know, I think that you have actual racists out there. Actual racists who are just itching. And you set it up to where they think they can get away with it. And all it takes is just one. Yeah, that's what we saw with Charlottesville. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
With Charlottesville, you have the one guy who runs into the crowd, killing one woman. And that's not good. I'm not excusing it at all. But one guy. And it takes away everything else that happened there. There was a ton of violence there. And you know where it came from?
The left.
The left. If they hadn't shown up that day, it would have been just people going down there, standing around that statue for a few hours and then leaving.
Like
were some of them racist? Yeah, indeed. As they did the very next fucking year. I don't even think it was another year before they had the next one. Nobody showed up. No violence. They just went down there, stood around the statue, and then went home. Thank you so much, Andrew Joyner, for the shocked hippo. I love the hippo. I really do. Where was I? This story became nothing but, oh, there's white racists everywhere because of one jackass. All of the other shit that went on there didn't matter anymore. And that's what Trump was really talking about when he said there was good people on both sides. there was also violence on both sides. There were shitheads on both sides. In fact, if the shitheads on the left wouldn't have inserted themselves there would have been no problem. But at that time, anytime there was any kind of even a hint of a right-wing protest, there was going to be left-wing violence. It was never called that. No. They were always just defending themselves. They were just defending themselves. That's why people were carrying shields with them, because they knew these shitheads were coming. So all it takes is one. So what happens? This stuff keeps blowing up. And instead of us concentrating on what actually happened with George Floyd, it's a race war. And then you get to your actual racist, like, all right, I'm gonna go kill someone. I'm gonna go do me. You don't even have to fuck with regular people, man.
They could use it as propaganda then, because like, look, they're pushing this thing that white people are inherently evil. What they really, really want is for some rando suburban person to go nuts and kill some people.
Oh yeah.
Because some redneck doing it, some uneducated, stereotypical racist. Yeah, they expect that. People are not shocked by that. Be like, oh, that guy was always a racist.
But the problem becomes that if that happens, then it's like there's more racists out there than you think. I don't mean to interrupt your thought. Go ahead.
No, that's right. Yeah,
you were saying?
That's the point, though, is they can see it's ingrained in suburbia. It's part of the systematic culture. Because if they can find some ex-government employee who lost his job due to COVID, or some professional level person that looked like a normal family guy, they push him into a corner, he reacts, kills somebody, and it doesn't matter why he did it or what his real motivation was. They just need somebody from suburbia to crack. And then they have their narrative locked in. See, it's even the innocuous-looking family guy. As long as he's white, he's evil.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Anthony Vogel. People advocating for cutting off friends and family that are not sufficiently racist, are not sufficiently anti-racist, is cult behavior. No dissenting opinions allowed. This is what a cult does. It's also, we saw this in 2016. Remember the BuzzFeed video?
Yeah.
Where the woman actually hints she's going to kill her parents if they vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
She's sitting there, like, sharpening a knife or playing with a knife. Cigar chomping penguin, thank you. I work for Amazon. I speak to almost no one these days because I'm so terrified of losing my job over bullshit. One asshole in particular would love to try to get me fired, claiming I said something racist. Yeah, this shit needs to stop.
It sucks working in that environment too, because you really are on eggshells. It raises your stress level, your blood pressure goes up, and you don't want to be there. You can't enjoy your job. If you do like your job, it's hard to actually navigate your work field, because there are so many people that just love to snitch on you because they get little back pats or advancement of their own or whatever. And how are you supposed to hold down a career that way?
Yeah, you can't. And that's the whole point. They're going to beat you into submission.
Yeah.
We have too many laws for them to do it, just by telling you can't say things. So they're going to do it, the other way, with shame. Shame is a good thing, but it's being abused right now.
Well, it's being used in all the wrong ways.
Yep.
You're not being shamed for doing something wrong. You're being shamed because they think that you exist wrong.
Yeah. Your very being, because you don't agree with them, is wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to you just have a wrong opinion? Didn't that be a thing?
No, there's only one opinion, and that is the party opinion. I mean, the left-wing opinion. Progressive, is that the new word for communist?
Yeah. They're social democrat.
Yeah, right.
I'm a social democrat. Shut up, commie.
From what, the People's Republic of North Korea?
Yeah, I don't want to say the writing's on the wall, Jack, but the plan is definitely in sight. You can see it.
Yeah, it's in motion, and people are falling for it because they're scared. They have the whole population scared. And I'm telling you, this is not the country to pull that shit in. There's going to be backlash and there's going to be civil unrest. It's not,
But
maybe they will win. I don't know. I hope to God not. But I don't know. This is scary shit.
But see, everything's being done for the greater good, Jack. It's all for the greater good. We have to get rid of racism for the greater good. We have to have universal health care for the greater good. We need to tax the rich for the greater good. And I've said this so many times. The people you have to worry about are not the crazies. They're not the ones you actually worry about. It's the people who listen to this shit and hear, well, I don't want to be racist. Those are the people that are the problem. Those are the people that you have to go, look, you're not being racist. And these are good-hearted people who are willing to, wash black people's feet because they feel like that might absolve them of some crime of their ancestor.
Yeah.
Did you see that shit, Jack?
What worries me is these are people in positions of very high authority. You cannot have people in power that will capitulate to the mob on a whim, or worse, be politically aligned with the mob in some kind of weird cult-like behavior. This is cult behavior. This has gone beyond just politics. This is a quasi-religion for these people.
The left is these days. I'm telling you, when they abandon God, look, guys, I'm agnostic. I'm throwing that out there so nobody goes, well, he's a religion. No. But the abandonment of God, something else had to take over, and they're getting their morality now from fucking politics. And it's not just, this is what I think is right. This is, if you don't agree with me, you're evil. And that is scary as fuck. That's how you end up with witch trials, man.
Oh, absolutely.
It is their morality. It is their core morality. Don't worry, it changes from time to time, guys. So there's a little wiggle room in their morality. For instance, silence is consent now.
Yeah.
That is my favorite shirt ever. Silence is consent.
That's the thing, is it changes so often. You have to adapt very quickly, and people don't do that. So they always have villains.
Drew, thank you so much. Is Sean King getting red pilled? I don't think so.
No,
I think. Go ahead, Jack.
He bows to the whims of society. So if he can get away with saying something that's going to benefit him in some way, he will.
I only saw the one tweet where it sounded like he might be a little bit red pilled, where he's talking about why you need to be specific to tell us who to vote for. That's the part of that tweet that should worry you. Because he said, don't tell us just to vote to fix this stuff. Be specific in who we should vote for. And by we, I guess he means white people, because he ain't black. But then he goes on to say, we are the ones who've been putting these people in power. You have to understand, Sean King was not saying, hey, we should vote Republican. He was saying we should vote Bernie. He was saying, Joe Biden is the same old. So we need a Bernie in there. That's going to fix things. Just because he's pointing out a very obvious truth doesn't mean that truth hit him how it should have. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Silence is consent. That's why I date mimes. Fair enough. And Jason, thank you so much. Silent isn't consent on college campuses. Well, it's not consent anywhere. That's fucking retarded. I just love that they were dumb enough to wear those shirts out in public and hold up those signs. And never even crossed their mind that they were saying, if she does that apply if she's passed out, Jack?
I think the rules change so frequently that it's whatever they decide at the moment.
All right.
Because next week that'll be a monstrous thing, but this week it's fine.
That was monstrous to begin with. I can't believe they fucking said that, Jack.
I know, right? But the goalposts move all the time so that you're never complacent. You're always on your toes about what is said and done. It's disgusting.
Thank you. Would the purposeful destruction of someone's life and social standing to push a political movement be considered a form of terrorism? Not a legal definition of it. I would consider it terroristic, but it's not, something that would be actionable legally. The closest you could come is if they went after your business or something and you could prove that they heard it without cause. John, thank you. Consent isn't even consent on colleges. That is true as well. Oh my. Guys, it's a good time to remind you that we're brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit the share button, and if you can, toss some money at my friend Jack here because he's a good guy.
That's what I tell people.
Virginia judge blocks governor's demand to pull down Confederate statue. Oh. A judge in Richmond on Monday issued a 10-day injunction against Governor Ralph Northam's decision to remove a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee from the city, according to the Washington Post. Northam said last week that the statue should be taken down from its pedestal as soon as possible, amid nationwide protests demanding racial equality. Was anybody even talking about statues before he started up?
I think there was some minor discussion because the mob had asked to take it down at some point. That was one of the Virginia things going around. I remember seeing something about it recently.
Okay, I hadn't seen that recently, so I was asking. It is funny, though, that he made that decision when he did, because that statue's been up for a long time.
Yeah, and as soon as they move it to a museum, it'll go into a back room, and then it'll quietly disappear from public thought, and then they'll melt it down. That's what they're doing. This is ISIS shit on a smaller scale.
The injunction was issued by a Richmond City Circuit Court judge on Monday. A lawyer for the man who sought the injunction, William C. Gregory, did not immediately respond for a comment or for a request for comment, nor did Northam's office. All right, so it's 10 days. I'm guessing it's, as the guy pushes his case forward to not remove it. Of all the generals you're going to take down and all that stuff, Lee is probably the one you should leave alone.
Well, he was a war hero before he joined the Confederacy. Because what was it, the Spanish-American War or the Mexican-American War? One of those?
One, yeah.
I think it was Mexican-American. Spanish-American was 1916, I think. So, yeah, he was a celebrity. That's why it was a big deal when he joined with the Confederacy. So, yeah, this is... You can't erase your history and expect not to repeat it. That's foolish.
Formerly Rodline, thank you. What if a person is passed out at a protest? Does silence equal consent there? You'd have to ask those guys because that's not my motto. I just think it's funny that it's theirs. Yeah, Lee, I mean, he was a slave owner. Oh, you know what I saw the other day, Jack? People want to rename Washington, D.C. because Washington was a slave owner.
Oh, of course.
I'm like, are you kidding?
They'll rename all of it if they can. They'll do everything they can to erase the founders of this country, especially. They'll start with the controversial stuff like the Civil War ones, but then they'll move back and go for Lincoln and all the original founders. Lincoln preserved it, but you get what I'm trying to say.
We should rename it BLM-DC.
Don't give them ideas. They would love that.
Antifa DC. BLM Antifa DC. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, they're gonna destroy statues. All right. Look, it's not like I care about a statue, Jack. I've always been one of those people. Like I don't need to see the history to know it's there. I don't think necessarily walking past a statue makes people think about the statue. I'm sure there's people who walked past that Robert E. Lee statue many times and never stopped and went, Robert E. Lee was a great man, or Robert E. Lee was a shitbag.
No, they're like, look, dead old guy.
Yeah. So I have no problem with it, like going into a museum or anything, but stop with the pandering political bullshit because that's what it is. It has nothing to do at all with any conviction you actually hold. So stop it, you lying shit. Somebody said they'd sent something to the hashtag they wanted me to look at, and I hadn't looked at it in a while, so I'm like, fuck it, let's look at the hashtag. Let's see a couple of things. My public spaces are private, and I won't be letting anybody check them for safety. Has it gone this far now? What? Help us make your public spaces safe. Keep your distance from other people. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your face. And follow social distancing. I don't get what they're upset about there. All right. This one was very upset. She can't loot a mobile phone store being protected by armed owners. Ha! Yeah, if it's a video, then yeah, I can't watch that right now as we're live. I appreciate when you guys send me videos. I just can't watch them live because I don't know what's in them. That's not to say I don't trust you guys, but I have to look for things you don't. Speaking of, Jack, did you see Andrew Cuomo may have been naked on his wife's yoga video?
Yeah, and whoever sent that to me is a dickbag. I didn't need to see that. He's gross looking. He looks like a potato.
Oh, they said read it again. It says pubic. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it does. Help us make your pubic safe space. Okay. Well, I mean, you should keep that safe anyway. And social distancing will do that for your pubic region. You can't get herpes if you're social distancing your crotch. If you keep it 6 feet away from people, you're not going to get herpes. That's science, Jack. That's a good video, Ranting Monkey. Yeah, I also couldn't show it because right now Lady Monkey's at work, and she's using the same internet connection I am, and I'm not fucking that up for her. So that's why I haven't shown any videos already, or we would have already done a couple. But yeah, if I don't get a chance to watch it beforehand, or it's not like 5 seconds, then chances are I'm not going to be able to show it on that show. You know what I mean, Jack?
Yeah.
I have to, watch out for things like vagina. Oops.
Yeah, it'll happen.
The downplaying of the violence is kind of funny. If you listen to did you get a chance to listen to the call that the mayor had with the alderman there in Chicago?
No.
It's apparently a call from the 31st when the violence is, taking off. And this one, there's some back and forth of people like, I don't know what's going on with the city. And this one guy, he gets on there and he starts talking about his borough, I don't know what they're called there. District, area,
I don't know.
Coverage site, whatever it is. He's like, in my area, it's basically a war zone. We have people out there running around with AKs ready to fire on each other. And he goes, I want to know, what are we going to do about this? And the mayor's answer to him was, does anybody else have any questions? And he went, no, I want an answer to this. Wards, thank you. That's what it is, Hammond. It's wards in Chicago. He goes, no, I want an answer to this. And she goes, well, you're full of shit. And he went, I'm sorry, what? Because she took it very personal, like she was not doing anything, because she wasn't. She was being burned down. Chicago got beat up, man. It didn't get as much coverage, but it got beat up, especially the south and west sides. And yeah, told him he was full of shit, Jack. And he's like, he told her, he said, well, fuck you. That's great.
Well, and, if you're not getting the truth out there, nothing's gonna get done. They can't keep putting a pretty face on everything and saying, "Oh, it's just there's no problem here."
Lamented Guide, thank you so much. Praise Jeebus, I finally caught you live for once. Thanks for watching and thank you for the donation. It's just funny to get a backstage look at what happened there, Jack, because there was a discussion that the mayor was only protecting the wealthy area of the city instead of caring about the entire city.
Well, that's where he lives. So.
She,
whatever.
She, yeah. that horrible bitch of a woman. Yeah, she's not a nice woman. She's a nasty little shithead.
Well, this is Chicago, right? So
yeah,
what do you expect?
Corruption. That's what I expect from Chicago.
Pretty much. That's all you can expect. That's all I expect from government in general these days. It's just corruption.
The the next line she said to him was, I know you need to preen, I think is how she put it. And he's like, I just want an answer to how we're going to fix things, you dirty bitch. I'm paraphrasing him now.
I like this guy. He sounds fun.
Oh, it was amazing. Let me see. Somebody had, what's his name? James Woods. He had tweeted it out, the story about it. And several of us who went there, the story, you couldn't actually listen to the audio. Something had happened in their story. And I think it was Foxy sent it to me. Yeah. So here's the story, guys. It's in this tweet. If you go to the story in this tweet, the audio is like halfway down in there. You can actually listen to it. It's pretty funny. It made me laugh, Jack.
I'll check it out after the stream.
Yeah, it's the first like minute and a half of it is pretty calm, and then just everything blows up. And then people start telling him he's being rude, and he's like, I'm being rude. She said I was full of shit.
Yeah, and she's dodging questions.
Yeah. She straight up just dismisses it, Jack. It's like, wow. I'd have been pissed too. The least she could have said is, look, I don't have an answer for you. We need to figure something out. You're right. Maybe the guard needs to come in. Maybe we need federal help. I don't know, but we need to find some. She's like, anyone else have a question? Like, God damn, baby.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's the problem, though, is Chicago never has people get called out. They never take any responsibility for the chaos and death that's rampant there. And they haven't done anything about it. They just dodge and weave these questions all day long.
The funny part to me, though, is that Chicago's a shithole every day.
Yeah.
Again, not the good neighborhoods. No, there's some really nice, safe neighborhoods in Chicago. And then you have the South Side, where you can get your ass shot off just for walking across the street. And it's not going to be somebody shooting at you. It's going to be a stray bullet hit you in the ass. But now it's a problem. You need to clean up the whole thing. And you're never going to be able to clean up Chicago because it is a corrupt system there. It's Mexico is what it is. They call it Chirac. No, it's Mexico. It's a dirty fucking... It amazes me that we have places like that in this country where everybody knows the system is corrupt. Everybody knows it. How many Illinois governors went to jail in a row?
Oh, there were a lot.
Wasn't it like 3 or 4?
Way too many. It was something ridiculous like that.
And if they didn't go to jail, they still didn't finish a full term as governor. It's ridiculous. It's that whole place, and it's been like that for decades. I mean, this goes back decades. And they'd be like, well, it's all right. I mean, it's just Chicago. Just, stay on the north side. You'll be all right. That's happening. And then people have the nerve to point to anywhere else in the world and go, that place is corrupt. Like, have you looked at Chicago, New Orleans?
Right.
Any of these places? I mean, those are right here in our backyard. Let's see. Oh, that's the soccer team being upset about not being, or the soccer federation changing it so people can kneel. Good for you. 4 British neo-Nazis have been jailed on terrorism charges. Well, good for them. Way to go. This is the other one I wanted to talk about, Jack. And I get myself in a lot of trouble on this. So if you don't have a lot of comment, I understand. Are asymptomatic people, sorry, I've been saying systemic so much. Are asymptomatic people spreading the coronavirus? A WHO official's words spark confusion and debate. Dun, dun, dun. That's not what I didn't talk to you. I'm on record. Shut up. Sorry, it's my phone. The World Health Organization moved Tuesday to clarify its position on whether people without symptoms are widely spreading the new coronavirus, saying much remains unknown about asymptomatic asymptomatic transmission. The studies of asymptomatic transmission are very sparse. And I'm not just saying that there's not that many studies. I mean, one of the studies is literally of one family. One family where they say one person spread it to the whole family. From China. Why anybody is believing anything China has to say about coronavirus is entirely beyond me.
Yeah, I hear that.
Seriously beyond me. I believe one of the, because there were like 3 or 4 studies that they based this off of. Do you remember the headlines? Asymptomatic transmission is real.
Yeah.
And like, there's no proof for that. Formerly Rideline, thank you. I love my city, Chicago, but I can see it's not, but I can't see it's not a shithole. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, there's parts of it that are. Parts of Chicago are still beautiful. Asymptomatic transmission, they've never had actual proof that this is happening. They have a couple of really obscure studies from China. And I think there was one done in, I want to say Denmark, but don't quote me on that.
Look,
and in all of them,
your proof is just colonialist nonsense. We need to panic right now.
I'm not saying it's not possible. But a lot of diseases, you can't actually spread them until you show symptoms.
Usually fever. Yeah,
it's incubating in your system, and you're perfectly safe until the symptoms show themselves. Not all. Somebody go, but hey, Dookie fever is I know. Shut up. But there's a lot of them that are impossible to transmit if you're asymptomatic, including other coronaviruses, Jack.
Yeah.
You have to have them. You have to have the symptoms in order to pass it on. So when this stuff comes out and they start shouting from the rooftops about it, and you actually looked at the evidence, it just wasn't there. And now they're like, well, we don't know. You've never known. You've never known. Because the only way to do it, the only way to find out is to find somebody who's asymptomatic, who has the disease at the time, and put them with healthy people and see.
Yeah. And that kind of violates medical ethics.
Yeah.
But, you can learn from like controlled groups, like a remote tribe or something, a small group of people that nobody had any outside contact except the one, like the dad came home from some thing and spread it to everyone. But you don't know if they spread it as soon as they became symptomatic or if everybody had it before, because it's got such a long incubation period.
Sorry, give me just a second.
No problem. So I don't know. I think there's so much they don't know. They just guess, and I think that's worse than
it is,
because
it's
then
scaring people.
Yeah, you scare people and you get conflicting information. Yeah, people should take precautions until they know more. But if you don't know, stop. They told us masks didn't work. Then they told us everybody had to have a mask, and then now they're saying the masks might be dangerous. Which is it? You can't keep changing things.
A comment by WHO official on Monday calling such asymptomatic transmission, quote, very rare, touched off a furious scientific debate over the unresolved question and attracted widespread criticism of the organization. I want to talk about that part for just a moment. They even say it right there. The unresolved question. It's always been an unresolved question, but the media, I guarantee you, if you go back and look, the Washington Post was out there shouting to the rafters that it can be spread even if you're not showing symptoms. Less than 24 hours later, WHO convened a special news conference to walk back its comments, stressing that much remains unknown. That's not walking back the comment.
No, not at all.
That's saying we don't fucking know.
What? Why didn't they just say that? No, more study needs done.
Calling the controversy a misunderstanding, Maria Van Kerkhove, head of the WHO's Emerging Disease and Zoonosis Unit, said that during the news conference Monday, she was trying to respond to a journalist's question when she said asymptomatic transmission was very rare. I wasn't stating a policy of WHO or anything like that. That's not a policy. Do they get to set what is it a policy whether or not it's asymptomatic? Because if we get to just set the policy, let's just say no, it's better for everybody. Okay.
I don't think they know what they're doing.
They don't. We do know that some people who are asymptomatic or some people who do not have symptoms can transmit the virus on. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have no evidence of that. You have a couple
Chinese said it, therefore it's true.
Well, yeah. Yeah. You know what we do know, Jack? A lot of people who get this, even if they get symptoms, they're like very, very mild. If you go and look at, let's for a minute pretend Chris Cuomo actually had corona. If you watched any of that, you go through all that. You know what his only real symptom was? He had a slight fever.
He claimed he was like hallucinating and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear anyone else say that they were hallucinating.
You know how high your fever has to be to hallucinate?
About 101 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can do 102 with no problem. It's you get like 102.5.
No. I have that habit of like not stopping doing things when I'm sick, so I tend to like have bad reactions.
Nah, I get sick, man. I lay my ass down.
That's the adult thing to do, but I'm a mildly petulant child half the time. So
no, it's a childish thing to do. You lay down and your wife takes care of you.
I don't have one of them though.
You get one. That's what they're there for.
I would like to, but they keep escaping the Mediterranean love den.
You get the man flu, you need a woman around.
Oh, that's so true.
They take care of it for you. No, seriously, I if I get a fever, I feel it immediately, and I have no strength. It's been that way my whole life. That's how I can tell like, oh shit, I'm sick. Is fever. Not anymore, because I actually don't feel fevers anymore. But it used to be, yeah. It just suddenly I would be done. Like, oh, well then, I'm going to be in bed for a couple of days. I'm surprised that Cuomo didn't blame his "I hate my job" rant on delirium from the COVID. That probably would have been a better way for him to go. It would have made more sense. Instead, it was like, I didn't say that. Like, bitch, you're on tape. We heard you.
Right? Tape isn't real.
That was his defense, is I didn't say that. Like, you did. I mean, huh.
Don't believe your lying eyes, monkey.
I know. My lying ears. K-pop's most popular group donated $1 million in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. Black Lives Matter got sued. And the suit failed because they're not an actual organization. Do you remember this? This was a year ago or so. Maybe 7-8 months, something like that.
Yeah.
Who are you donating to if you're donating to Black Lives Matter if they're not an organized group?
That's a good question.
I'd be willing to bet
that. It's probably some kind of Soros outfit.
Well, we do know if you donate to Sean King, chances are it's going into his pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he is a black life as far as he's concerned.
It's amazing. He's had 3, 4, 5, something like that, charities that nobody knows where the money went. And when I say nobody, I mean him either. He can't tell you where it went. Like, I don't fucking know.
Wow.
Where was that other one I wanted to talk about?
Oh, did you see? Sorry to interrupt you, but while we're on Black Lives Matter, there's a Science Fiction Writers Association that is giving preference to black authors to promote them. So they're going to they're having a big convention, and they're going to help pay people's travel expenses, and they get to go in for free if they're a black sci-fi writer.
Really?
They're not offering that discount to anyone else.
Really?
Yeah, which is completely against not only California state law, but it's probably a federal crime too.
Yeah. It's preferential treatment based on race.
Yeah. But that's okay in the modern era.
Eric Peters, thank you so much for the is that a coughing peach or is that or pear or is that shy? I think it's coughing.
I think it's the hee kind of giggly thing after you get fart and don't get caught.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Either way, it's cute. I like the pear. Seriously, Monk, they aren't a real organization. So who are all the YouTubers donating to? No, it's a good question. I don't know.
It's something people need to look into, but I have no way of finding any of that information out either. So,
but it's a tactic, not to actually organize.
Yeah, to be decentralized. You know who else does
Antifa does?
Yeah, Antifa does it, and so does the Taliban, and Al Qaeda, and ISIS, and lots of other terror groups.
Yeah, that way there's not a central thing they can ever point to and go, this is the problem.
Yeah, Anthony Vogel reminded me, Uber Eats was doing deliveries for black-owned businesses for free, but not other people.
Yep. What is this? Oh, this is cool. Somebody got the monkey sticker that says, "Shh, just let it happen." That's awesome. That's from Manila Bob. Thank you for the support, dude. That's awesome. This is another tweet from Sean King that I was sent. Guess who made the single strongest statement on the ludicrous no-knock warrant used to murder Breonna Taylor from a national politician? It was Rand Paul, the Republican senator from Kentucky, not a Democrat. He said they should be banned altogether, nationwide. Painful. Well, he's not wrong. I don't think Sean King is going to be going for Republicans. I just don't.
No, he makes too much money doing what he's doing.
Yep. And remember, Rand Paul is often seen as an outsider, even in the Republican Party, because he's more of a libertarian.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how that shakes out. Maybe he is getting red-pilled. That'd be a good thing. The more people who... I don't even want you red-pilled. I don't want black people voting for Republicans or voting for the Green Party or voting for Democrats. I want them voting for who they think is the right choice. That's what I want.
Not unreasonable.
I'm not here to tell people how to vote. Had our grass cut, and the grass is right outside the window, and it is driving my nose mad, dude. God damn. Anyhow, the possibility of him actually changing, I just really don't see it. I don't think it plays into his base. Remember, if there's a blow up in the virus, it's racism. It's not because Democrats are out there telling you to be fucking retarded. There's systemic racism, but don't blame the Democrats who've been in charge for decades in some cases, literally half a century or more. Don't blame them. Blame those Republicans. They're the ones keeping you down. And again, I don't want you to go out and vote Republican. I don't want you to vote for anything. There's a whole lot of people who, frankly, if they said I'm not voting, I'd be like, oh, thank God. Because there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
Petite Nkoko's husband put out today that if there was mandatory voting, this stuff wouldn't be happening. And I don't know if he was joking or not, but there's people who think that way, that we should have mandatory voting like they have in Australia. I don't want that ever.
I don't think that would work here.
It doesn't make anybody more politically aware. And so all you have is dueling morons. It's bad enough the people who quasi pay attention to politics and still don't know what the fuck's going on. You want a whole fucking country? What? 120 million, 125 million people voted in the last election. So what is that? Like 50%, 60% of the voting population? And you want to double that with people who don't give a shit. People are going to be going in there and blindly pulling a lever. That's a bad fucking idea.
They'll just randomly vote for whoever they've heard of, most likely.
You're not going to make people smarter. You're just going to have more idiots voting. That's a bad idea. I'm going to let people decide while forcing people to do stuff. Yes. Poppy says, I should not vote. I don't know shit about who's who and why. That's fair. If you don't know, then don't vote. The other option is to educate yourself and then vote, but
Educate yourself.
I'm not a believer in forcing people into paying attention to politics. I wish more people would. I wish more people listened. By the way, hi Poppy, how you doing, sweetie? I wish more people would go, look, I don't know what's going on, so yeah, I'm not going to vote this time. I don't know these fucking people. How can I vote for them? I think it's going to be great watching a whole bunch of people who don't know what Joe believes in go vote for him.
Oh my God. Well, I don't think Joe knows what he believes in right now.
Yeah, he doesn't. I think, Jack, I'm really, really interested in this election. As a fan of the political part of it, of the actual game of politics, this one's going to be fun. This one's going to be interesting. Eric Peter, thank you for the pair. Have we decided that's a farting pair?
I think he's done something. I don't know what.
Fair enough.
I suspect a silent but deadly.
Thank you for the pair. When it comes to the game of this one's hard to game out. There's a whole bunch of articles that keep coming out. There's one yesterday. New model shows Trump is going to get absolutely destroyed in this election. Is he?
Dude, I don't know. At this point, I think it's a total roll of the dice because
it is.
Joe Biden's been hiding pretty effectively, and there's all sorts of crazy shit going on. Pandemics, riots. I'm telling you, raining frogs is next.
Well, the problem is for Democrats, at least, Trump hasn't been blamed for the downturn in the economy. He hasn't been blamed for the virus the way they tried to blame him for it. His numbers actually went up when they're like, we got him this time. And if you can't get him with that, okay, so you come at him with this racist bullshit. Okay. There's no way this lasts until the election. There's just not, you can't keep anger up that long. Look at any massive movement. It dies pretty quick.
Well, I think they could do it in waves, though. They let things calm down a little bit and then get outraged again. Mm-hmm. And they build up that momentum all over again.
But at some point, Joe Biden has to go on stage with Donald Trump.
Oh, that's going to be fucking hilarious.
At some point, the political season kicks in and the ads start coming in force. And there are so many things that you can pull from Biden. So many. Shit. That one video clip of him claiming to have graduated at the top of his class with 3 degrees. Just play that clip.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he admitted that he finished at the bottom and he only got 1 degree.
Midnight in Exile brings up an interesting point. If they overcharged Chauvin and he gets acquitted in October or November, you're going to have these riots all over again right before the election.
Sure. But do you think the trial will be that fast?
I think they're going to rush it. They're going to want this out of the way as soon as possible, especially because Ellison is a known supporter of Antifa. Mm-hmm. It would be in his purview and his group's interest to have this as soon as possible so that they could gin up anger and resentment during the election period.
I think this has to be moved out of Minneapolis. And I don't know. I don't know if it'll go that quickly. How long was it between Trayvon and the Zimmerman trial?
I don't know, but they kind of slowballed that one a little bit.
I mean, most trials take a year or so, don't they?
It varies by area.
John Miller, thank you. 4 years of anger does temper the onlookers. TBS has been one hell of a thing to watch. They need to make it a medical condition for how long this has gone. I get what you're saying, but if you look at the pitch, it's come down. They're still absolutely crazy, but they're not out in the streets screaming about it, you know?
Yeah.
The Women's March, they're like, yeah, fuck it. Nobody cares. Nobody showed up. They've been doing it every year since he got elected, and last year didn't even make the news because nobody cared. This is Kyle. Thank you. Hey, Monk, I turned your drinking game into a smoking game. Let's just say I started to feel like Biden about halfway through. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, if they cut a deal with this guy in October, November, let's say they want to forego a trial, and they cut a deal or give, like Failure B said, a slap on the wrist, that'll cause the same problems. I think that's what they're aiming for, is they're overcharging so that they can either get acquittal and have more problems and create more chaos, or they're going to give him a deal, and it's going to be a really gentle deal, and that'll stir up all this anger before the election. I would not be surprised if that is their October surprise. I use surprise too many times in that sentence.
Yeah, I don't know if the trial will be that fast. I get what you're saying, and yeah, that would be an easy way to do it, to kick riots back up. You get the nice October surprise there, but I don't know. That just seems like it would be a really quick trial. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, that's why I'm thinking they might go for a plea deal too. But if they do something strategic, it could be something like this, where they know that it's already got people angry once, and the guy getting off the hook, they could really use that to their leverage during the election season, right before the election.
If I'm him, though, I don't take a plea deal. Not now that they've moved it up to murder 2. Again, we don't have all the evidence. There might be something in there that makes murder 2 make sense. But from what we know, if I'm him, I don't take a deal. Like, fuck it, let's roll the dice. I mean, there is still the possibility of the manslaughter charge. What was that? It was man 2, which probably still counts as well. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of Anonymous claiming that Trump is a pedophile and had Jeffrey Epstein killed to cover up what he did? Sorry, this is so off topic. Thank you, Sir Wolfgang, and don't be sorry. We're at the point where we're just jumping from topic to topic. That's fine. I think they're full of shit.
Yeah, I don't see that. There's been no evidence of that at all, and I think that Hillary would have dug that up if it was out there.
Yeah, that would have been. They tried to pin a relationship between Epstein and Trump, and it died because Epstein was kicked out of Trump's life before he ever got in trouble the first time.
Yeah, and the Clintons have really close ties with Epstein, so if they knew that Trump was like that, they would have had that dirt by now.
Snubber, thank you. Shutdown STEM is trending. I wish for death. Yeah. And Andrew Joyner, thank you. Joe's meandering anecdotes remind me of Abe Simpson. Yeah. You're not wrong. Yeah, Snub, I saw that shutdown STEM.
Well, they can't explain how the shaman can summon lightning.
Yeah. It's stupid. I haven't looked into why it was trending. I just rolled my eyes when I saw it. I figured it was some feminist bullshit. Am I right? Anybody know? Am I right on that?
It's either that or it's because biology insists that there's only 2 genders.
As for Anonymous, Anonymous is a little left-wing organization full of shitbags, script kiddies, pushing their little bullshit and occasionally being able to DDoS people. Yay. So badass behind your little masks. And by the way, those masks are gay. Get a different one. Get a fucking Jason mask, man. That doesn't look scary. You look French. Stop it. I mean, if you're not actively with a dick in your ass, you should never wear that mask.
Well, if you're not actually Guy Fawkes or one of his descendants or somebody that celebrated his weird Catholic cause, then yeah, I don't really see the point. Plus, you're ruining that movie for everyone.
You look like a gay Frenchman. Stop it. Put on a real mask. Get yourself a power armor helmet or something. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's got to be a better mask out there.
Oh, there is, I'm sure. Tons of them. They come out every Halloween. Pick one. Be a troll or something. I'm standing up to the bad people. Shut up.
They should have Pepe masks.
Your mom didn't love you, and neither do we.
Yes, Godzilla masks. Yes. I like you where your head's at, pirate.
These are all references I barely get. It's okay, Michael. It's random shit.
Half the time,
Scream mask.
Yeah, half the time we don't know what we're talking about.
No, Faithless. Instead of this Scream mask, use the Scary Movie mask from when he got high. That would be a great one to use. With the tongue hanging out and everything. Oh, man. Fuck. Yeah, if there was any proof of that, it would have already been out. I saw a thing the other day, Jack, that made me laugh my ass off because it was actually suggested that there wasn't enough digging done on Trump before he was elected. People just didn't know Trump.
Oh, God. How much more did they dig into this guy's life? He's been in the public for like 35, 40 years, and there's been documentaries on him. Hillary did everything she could. If she couldn't find anything, there's probably nothing left to find.
It was something like 92% negative press or something like that in the 2016 election. $1 billion of free advertising, and 90-some% of it was negative. And you're telling me, oh, we just didn't let the public know how bad he was. Like, you're fucking retarded, man.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that was the part that I saw from Mattis that really pissed me off. I think that was in his letter where I was like, are you kidding? We just didn't know him well enough. That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, Trump is crass and abrasive. You may not like the guy, but he seems like he's reasonably clean. He likes to cheat on his wives.
Yeah. Likes to get his dick wet. None of my business. It's between him and his wife.
Yeah, they always told us that what you do in your bedroom is your business. And I agree with that. But why are you bringing that out if it's something that's supposed to be private?
If they had something serious on Trump, we would all know about it by now. We would have known about it years ago. They just don't have anything. So should I join Anonymous? Sure, if you want to. Why not? Do you have a good mask? Shit. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Do they have a committee for that?
I don't know. We're gonna DDoS you. Bill Clinton was an angel. Look, I don't care about Bill fucking Monica. A lot of people were real pissed off. I don't care about that. I really don't. The stuff that he was accused of with everyone else, that was an issue. Juanita Broderick with the rape story. Didn't she have a picture of like a big fucked up lip? Supposedly from her sexual encounter with him. He settled with Paula Jones, and I mean, I don't know what all went on there, but I don't support sexual harassment. I don't support adultery either. But that's between you and your spouse. It's not my fucking business.
Did he lose his law license over one of those accusations?
No, he lost his law license over perjuring himself. He lost his law license because he perjured himself during the deposition.
Oh, okay.
Oops. Yeah. The bar association doesn't look good on or doesn't look positively on people who lie under oath. It was something that didn't get a lot of attention because they didn't do it until after he left office.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like he was going to go back to practicing law or anything. It's like, fuck it. Yeah, Anonymous says Trump was there with Epstein. Yeah, proof, fellas. Let's see it. And don't give me no Photoshop bullshit either, because you're not that good.
Yeah, they need to produce some evidence. That's why I don't follow that QAnon stuff either. It's a lot of accusations and no real evidence.
Well, it's easy to grab onto stupid shit and just run with it. Look, we like conspiracy theories, Jack.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But if you're going to make an accusation like somebody's a fucking pedophile, you better bring it. You better have fucking proof. Especially when you're ignoring the people who... Look, there were a lot of people in bed with Epstein. Well, with the girls with Epstein. And we still haven't heard about any of it. None of it. All the files they took from that island. Yeah, they blew out to sea on the way home.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that shit's at the bottom of the Atlantic somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Videos and all.
Yeah, nobody's ever getting in trouble for any of that.
Yeah. I still can't believe they're trying to pretend that was a suicide.
Yeah, that's... look, we all know that powerful people were involved in that, so of course you don't expect anything to happen, but the blatant, pathetic cover-up is just sad. There was no effort done. They're just like, yeah, nothing to see here.
What if Anonymous posted about Ilhan Omar and her brother? Bring proof. I mean, it would be redundant because that proof is already out there, but if you're going to make a fucking accusation like that, bring proof. There's plenty of proof that Ilhan Omar married her brother. There's decent proof that she shouldn't even be in the country. That her immigration here was illegal. That it was fraudulent. And if it was, you can absolutely revoke somebody's citizenship for that. But nobody's digging. Sir Wolfgang, thank you. Plus, if it was true, wouldn't that be better to go after him on impeachment over? Well, no, you couldn't impeach him on that. You'd have to have some pretty solid evidence of that for impeachment. And at that point, you're going to trial, you know? That would be a thing that you bring up during the election to keep from getting him elected again. And again, we knew all this stuff about Epstein during the election. Epstein, I know a lot of you only heard about him right before his death, when he got arrested, that kind of stuff. But he's been around for a while. That 2008 plea deal that he got was absolutely asinine, and a lot of people, myself included, have been following that little dirty motherfucker for a long time. Yeah. And the Clinton connection there, Jesus Christ. 6 trips on that on the fucking plane where he has little girls beating him off. Yeah, nothing that. Bill was sleeping at the time. Don't worry. Yeah, he didn't even know what was happening. He thought those little girls were just like it's a small world after all display.
He thought they were midgets.
Yeah.
Real quick, thank you, Cigar Chomping Penguin, for the donation. Went to pick my car up from the shop. They didn't even start it yet. So I punched the girl behind the counter out, robbed them, and took my car back. Here's your cut.
Damn.
Thanks.
You gave him some money and made it an accessory. Joe Fapps, thank you. The conspiracy I like most is the JFK brothers all dying. It's just too weird to be a random thing. Well, if you're talking about John and Bobby, sure. I don't remember how Joe died. I know Joe died. What did he die? Was it in the war?
I think so. I'm not sure.
But with the Kennedys, I mean, a lot of their deaths, it's because the way they live. I mean, John Jr. fucking flying a plane at night that he wasn't qualified to fly. That's not a conspiracy. That's like, oh, he's dumb. It's a rich kid playing with his.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
The family's full of risk takers too.
Man, I have my questions about the JFK assassination, and there's people. No, they've done ballistics that prove they've never been able to prove that. Nobody's ever made that shot, ever. Nobody's ever shot a bullet and had it go through somebody else, turn completely the other way, and go into something else, ever. You couldn't even set that up to happen. It'd have to be a complete coincidence. But I digress.
Well, I'm more bothered by what they did to Rosemary because she was slow or something like that, but not retarded. And their dad was embarrassed by her, so he sent her to a mental institution where they lobotomized her at his request.
Oh,
and that was supposed to fix her, and it didn't. It just made her a complete disaster. And she stayed at the institution for decades, and she was just forgotten about. No one went to visit her, nothing like that. It was hideous.
The Bobby assassination, I don't think, was like some giant government conspiracy. There are people who think that the MLK one was a conspiracy. I don't know enough about that one. There's people who think that Malcolm was a conspiracy. There's tons of great conspiracies out there.
Yeah.
Most of them fall apart if you dig too far. I guess that's why I like the Kennedy one so much, because you're never going to convince me there was one shooter. You can convince me that Oswald was one of the shooters. You're never going to convince me he's the only shooter. And this has nothing to do with Back and to the Left. This has nothing to do with the Zapruder film. This is because of the, ballistics. First shot missed completely. The shot that should have hit best. Or was the first one went in his throat and the second one missed completely?
I don't remember.
Wasn't it the first one misses completely? And then the third one, the shot that should have been the hardest one because he's desperate at this, is perfect. Just got him right in the head. No. That one bullet made 14 different holes in two people, including turning in midair. I want to say that again. Not turned within the body. It turned in midair. It did a hook shot. Yeah. Anyhow.
Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. Walked up to a disabled vet and asked him if his leg was lost in Korea, and he said it was. It was nice, and I took it and sold it for $10. Here's 5. Thanks, Cryptic.
Nice. Humble says, can we talk again about a thug getting a golden casket because people are fucking stupid? Look, if people want to spend their money on that, I understand. George was not a good man. He wasn't. He was a shitbag. But with the way he died, he became a symbol. He shouldn't have. I don't think he should have. I don't think it's reasonable if you look at his life. I can understand people like donating to his family and stuff. I understand. I forget what celebrities I'm to pay for his funeral. It was like $88,000. I understand all that. I mean, with the way he died, and he didn't deserve to die that way. So I get people donating. I think the what are we on day 3? Like it's a fucking state memorial or state funeral kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe time to move on. Maybe. I get the funny part of it, and then people wanting to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Back to that needing religion thing, Jack.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's ingrained in human beings.
There will be people digging up his grave to get that gold. Oh. How long do you think it'll take before he's grave robbed?
I'd be willing to bet it's defaced within a month, and it'll probably be somebody trying to frame white supremacists. It'll be a hoax hate thing.
Oh, no, I mean people actually going to steal the coffin. If he's being buried in a golden coffin, I'll go dig that shit up.
Oh, that's a good point.
It'll take me a while.
I don't know. I don't know.
Jason,
oh, sorry.
Jason, thank you. I heard Don Lemon thinks a black hole caused the bullet to turn. It was a small black hole.
Same one the plate disappeared into. Holy shit.
Fucking Bermuda. He actually brought up the Bermuda Triangle. Which, you know, I'm kind of glad he did, Jack, because a whole bunch of stuff from our childhood that used to be talked about a lot just doesn't anymore.
Like the Bermuda Triangle, because it's awesome.
Like the Bermuda Triangle, yeah. The ships used to get lost in that thing all the time, and it was like, oh, what's happening there? Ooh, scurry. And then
just nobody talks about it.
Yeah, it's so sad. There was a comedian. He's like, "What happened to quicksand?" When we were kids, quicksand was like in everything. Every cartoon, there was people getting stuck in quicksand.
Yeah, true.
Like worried that there was quicksand all over the place. I might have to dodge. I ain't never even actually seen quicksand. It just kind of went away. Don Lemon is more retarded than Rosemary Kennedy post lobotomy.
It's a fact.
He's something else. He's partisan to a fault.
I'm pretty sure when the camera shuts off, they put a helmet on him.
And a bib.
Yeah.
You got to save that suit for next time. You know how hard it is to get slobber out of a suit?
That's true.
I loved the Bermuda Triangle while I was growing up. Now I know that statistically it's not more dangerous than any other part of the Atlantic Ocean. I know, right? They ruined it. Absolutely ruined it. Fuckers. Don't go figuring shit like that out. We need some mystery in our lives.
We really do. Otherwise, people get boring and jaded.
We need to bring back the Loch Ness Monster. Nessie doesn't get enough attention.
Make Nessie great again.
Yes. And Bigfoot, I mean, they pretty much like, he's a hoax. I don't believe you. Bigfoot is real. And he's here to fight the lizard people, right, Jack?
It's true. It's true. If they had had him in Australia, they would have won the Emu Award.
Bearcock says, am I a good dad or a bad dad for getting my kids Dairy Queen during a pandemic? Good dad.
There's never a wrong time for Dairy Queen.
Yeah, ice cream's always great. Give it tree fitty. I'm gonna need about tree fitty. That's when I noticed that Girl Scout. Anyway, I love the Nessie, the actual Nessie theories and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a theory that it was a prehistoric
plesiosaurus.
Yeah, got trapped in the lock, and that's an awesome thing. It's an interesting idea. What if it was there and it died and it's at the bottom there and we could study a live dinosaur that we hadn't seen before? It could happen.
Well, you never know. It might have, if it was a group of plesiosaurs, it might have adapted to different water, like because that's different water type. I think it's fresh water in Loch Ness, and there might be a channel out to the sea because there are tunnels under there. So, and it's a very deep and very cold loch. Plus, there is a replica, like a model that was used in the movie The Loch Ness Monster, that sank there, that's still down there. And every now and then people will take photos of it.
Drew, thank you so much. Not saying it was white people, but white people. Don Lemon, indeed. And Eric Peters, thank you so much. BLM. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but thank you for the donation. No, I think we need more mystery like that. Do kids even have anything like that they can grab onto these days?
I don't think so. All the imagination is sucked out of kids early on.
This is why I approve of conspiracy theories, even ones that are absolutely ridiculous. We need imagination. Imagination is good.
Yeah, people need things to think about.
This is why one of the best things you can do for your kids is just tell them to go play. Don't be there and do everything for them. They got to let them use their imagination, man. If you're sitting there keeping them entertained all the time, they're never going to be able to do it themselves. And then they're going to grow up and make a YouTube channel that I got to make fun of. I'm just saying.
True.
Monk, if it got trapped and it died, then it's not a live dinosaur anymore. Just saying. No, not that it got trapped and died. I'm suggesting that we haven't seen her for a while, so maybe she's died since. She got trapped. She lived there for many, many years, thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. How long ago did that dinosaur die off, Jack?
A couple million years.
Yeah, so trapped there for millions of years, and maybe the last one finally died off. That's what I'm getting at. Not that it immediately got trapped and died. And it is possible, to be honest with you, that there's animals in the ocean that we don't know about. This story still fucking amazes me, where they discovered something like 100 new species of frogs on land. I'm like, how the fuck you miss 100 species of frogs? How do we not know every inch of this planet already?
Look, that requires a lot more effort. It's easier to sit home and complain.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what we find when we do go look, but don't look for everything. Let's have some imagination. We need a monster, Jack.
Oh, we kind of do.
We have Bigfoot and Nessie. We need what's that?
We need something to be excited about.
Yeah, we grew up with Bigfoot and the Loch Ness monster. We need to come up with something for these kids.
Yeah, well, like all the cool monster stuff gets kind of pushed aside as like nonsense and is explained away right away. So nobody really reports on it. I mean, if you look at between the 60s and the 80s, you had all kinds of cool monster stuff. You had the Loveland Frogman, you had Mothman, you had Nessie, you had Champ, which is the Lake Champlain monster. You had yeah, of course you had the various variations on Bigfoot, but you had Makoke Mbembe out of the Congo or somewhere in Africa. There are all kinds of cool dinosaurs and weird monster things floating around. You even had like weird UFO stuff, like the Pascagoula sightings and abductions, the Gulf Breeze sightings in the 90s. Yeah, those were a hoax, but they were still fun.
It's fun. Murrow, go sit in the corner. You said we have the monster of racism. Go sit in the corner. And where's it at? I fear the ocean. I don't want to know what's under that abyss. You know what's great? And that was a Silverman. Said Satsu hates water, and not black people don't like to swim. He'll swim and stuff, but he doesn't like deep water. So when we play video games where there's deep water and stuff, I have to go down into it. But I understand it because he's like, it's just there. Being stranded out in the middle of the ocean has got to be one of the scariest thoughts you can have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then if you go down, holy shit. But it is interesting when we found it. That fish with the light on its head that lives down there, that is some weird evolutionary shit.
Yeah, that's fucking scary.
How the fuck you just suddenly grow a light on your head?
I don't know.
I want to see the missing link between that and a regular fish. Did it have like a torch on there? And it just fucker kept burning out because it was in water?
Everybody's saying it's an angler fish.
I call it the fish with the light on its head. You know why? Because it's a fish with a light on its head.
Yeah, because it's scary as fuck. You see one of those, you'd shit your pants in real life.
Those things are ugly as fuck.
Yeah, anything way down there is just freaky looking. That's how monsters in outer space look.
And this is why I'm telling you there's monsters out there, and kids need monsters in their life.
I agree.
Red Castro, thank you. Being trapped in a cave or pipe that is slowly filling with water, totally not scary. I don't go into pipes.
Yeah.
I saw a movie one time where it was a Vietnam movie, and they showed people crawling in the caves because the Vietnamese used to dig those caves. And watching them like, why? No, get out of there! Just throw a grenade down that bitch.
Well, those tunnels networks were incredibly extensive too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could be going miles, and then you have to figure out how to get back out.
And these weren't like giant manhole size. These were like barely fit your shoulders through size.
Yeah, they were tiny little Asian people.
Yeah, that's not a fair tactic. I don't like tight spaces. I couldn't even watch that movie. And I had to ask my dad about it because I was young at the time, and he explained to me what those tunnels were. I'm like, oh, fuck no. I didn't say that out loud to my dad because I was respectful to my parents and didn't swear around them. We did have a pact among the children, though, that we could swear when mom and dad weren't around. Try being a submariner and living in it for months. Fuck no. We talked about that the other day. My grandfather was a submariner in World War II. No, and I've seen the giant, the actual nuclear powered subs. They're big and they're beautiful, but it's not. It's a fucking can that you put underwater, and you go down like real deep. No. Cryptic, thank you for the thoughtful emoji. I think that's thoughtful. I'm not real good with what the emojis mean, Jack.
You can move your mouse on them and it'll tell you.
I like it. No, Jack, we need mystery in our lives.
Yeah, we need mystery, not every mystery.
What have I been preaching for the last 20 minutes?
I don't know.
Mystery.
I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about Mothman.
I never really went in for the Mothman one. I always liked Bigfoot. Bigfoot was one of my favorites, but my favorite was the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah,
I always liked the Loch Ness Monster and the Loveland Frogman because he's down in Cincinnati. And the Mothman's, I went to the Mothman Festival several times, and that was a good time.
Snubberth asked, did we hear about the ACLU lawsuit? Which one? They've had a few noteworthy ones recently. And Nothing for You Here says, despite my fear of large bodies of water, I love Subnautica. Fantastic game. Subnautica is one of those games because you're in the middle of the ocean, Jack, and you have to live out there and you're underwater for quite a bit of it. So Satsu can't play. I stopped playing it because I got bored with it real quick. The collection system on there is kind of garbage, I thought.
Oh.
But you know what I loved as a kid, Jack? Ghost stories.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite books to check out in the library, besides the Garfield books, were the true ghost stories. Those were great, man. Like the ghost on the Lincoln train and the ghost in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
So many various different ones at different hotels and stuff. Gamer Valine, thank you. DM to both of you. Show Satsu it's real. I will check that out in a moment.
Satsu doesn't talk to me.
Cryptic, thank you, says, thumbs up, thinking, and a big laugh.
That's not a thumb. That's a middle finger.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't have my glasses on, so yeah, it looks like I'm going with thumbs up. Snubber says, I think it's Title IX. We talked about the Title IX one. They're suing to try to keep the current standard because Betsy DeVos has changed it so that men accused of rape actually get a chance to argue back. Yeah, we've talked about that on both shows. No, I loved ghost stories. My favorite ghost story is actually from a really horrific real life event, because all great ghost stories are.
Yeah.
It was a Civil War story. There was a battle going on, and they just started throwing all the dead bodies in this one building. And they found out I think it was 3 days later, one of the guys on the bottom of the pile was alive.
Oh, fuck.
And they get him out, and he survived for a little bit, not very long, but he was fucking insane because he spent 3 days with nothing but dead bodies piled on top of him, and he couldn't get out.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That building became haunted. I want to go to that place. It still stands. I like ghost stories. They're great. I think it's the last mystery we really have, Jack.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I've been ghost hunting several times. It's a lot of sitting around in the dark talking to yourself, but you get to go to some cool buildings with fascinating history. And some of the ghost stories are really amazing that you come across. Like with the most haunted house in England, which unfortunately burned down a long time ago. It's called Borley Rectory. And that place was supposed to have like dozens of weird stuff happening at any given time. There was a phantom monk, things moving around like poltergeist type activity, all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's places like that here, like Waverly Hills Sanatorium. You can go down to that in Kentucky and do tours. That place is really cool. The West Virginia State Penitentiary, which I got the opportunity to spend an entire night there with just 4 people. And that was a lot of fun. That place is really cool. It's got some crazy stories too. But yeah, there's some awesome ghost stories out there. Places you can go visit, and it's not that expensive to go ghost hunting.
Monkey, any idea when the next game stream is going to be? No, I'm not real sure. I'm trying to stay awake today, Jack, so that I can get my sleep schedule normal. Which means a long night for me. By the way, guys, Monkey in the Morning will be right after Lords of the Night tonight. So I'm going to get right into it so that I can get to bed right after. This is Kyle. Thank you. I would tell ghost stories at the lake I used to go to. There was an old town that was completely submerged when they built the dam and made the lake so great for inspiration. Wow. That's and awesome. Somebody asked me if that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that's awesome.
It is, yeah. Somebody asked me if that story I told was from a book. No, that was actually a documentary I saw about different supposedly haunted places. RBA Dar over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, who says, see, when you stream during normal hours, I give you money. I appreciate it, and I'm sorry I'm not on normal hours all the time. It's normal hours for me, or at least as normal as I can get. Sorry about that.
Also, thank you, RVA Dar. When I was in the Navy, we had to swim. We had swim call over the Marianas Trench, deepest part in the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, fuck that noise.
Wait, you swam over the Marianas Trench?
No, that's where monsters live. I'm pretty sure.
Oof. I don't mind swimming in the ocean, but I don't know if I could swim deep in the ocean. Well, out in the ocean. I used to spend my whole summer at the fucking beach, man. We'd go swimming all the time. And I love it. I love swimming. But no, fuck no. I need to see the land. I need to be able to go, okay, I need to go that way.
Yeah, it's nice to have a reference point.
Ghost stories. There's something I was going to say about ghost stories, Jack, and now I've lost it.
Sorry.
No, it's not you.
How awesome they are. Yeah, the Queen Mary. There's a lot of cool haunted places.
Oh, I remember. I joke about the ghost in this house, but I'm half certain it's true. If ghosts are real, there's one in this house. Because weird shit happens in that room right above me. I need to look into what's happened at this place, Jack. Like if the family that lived here before, if their grandma died here or something.
Yeah.
Because that room right above me, weird shit happens. And there's no explanation for it. So they go, there's science that can explain it. Fuck you. No, there's not. Ghosts are real. They are probably everywhere. Well, not necessarily. Well, it depends on how you think ghosts come to be. Most people think for a ghost, there has to be some really traumatic event, like super traumatic.
Yeah, well, there's competing theories as to what ghosts are. Like, are they the souls of the dead? Are they just like a recording of something that happened before? Is it a spectrum of things? Spectrum.
Eric Peters, thank you again for the farting pair. I'm going with farting because I think it's funnier. All right. Thanks for going with me on that. And somebody, who was it? Sleepy Doodle said, no, monkey, ghosts aren't real. I don't believe you. I'm sticking on the ghosts are real until somebody can prove they're not. You got to prove to me that they're not. Good luck proving a negative. That's a fight I get to win just on principle, Jack.
Yeah.
I've never seen one for me to be able to go, yes, they're absolutely real. But I've seen some weird shit happen. And it's not like, oh, that's a weather balloon in my house. No, I've seen weird shit happen. But yeah, Monk the Ghost Hunter. If I was, this is going to sound bad, but hear me out. One of the great things about us having our children young was that I was still going to be relatively young myself when they were able to, be adults and grown up. And there were things I wanted to do, like ghost hunting. I fucking love ghost stories. And that's something I'm not going to ever be able to do now. And it saddens me.
Yeah, I understand that. But it's just one of those things. There's lots of stuff that you end up not being able to do as you get older anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks because ghost hunting is pretty fun.
Sleepy Doodle says, yeah, LOL, pick or no real. You've never seen a picture of me. Am I not real?
Well, we don't know.
I win again. How do you know I'm not a ghost? Not trying to step on Ghastly's shtick, but how do you know I'm not a ghost? Cigar Chopping Penguin, thank you so much over on the Streamlabs. I'm going to wrap up here in a minute, Jack. For some good ghost stories, look up St. Bonaventure University in Orleans, New York. There's a few good ones. We should just make up a new monster and try to get people to believe it. Off the top of my head, the Monkey Man in the Appalachian Mountains. That's real, but it's not actually a monkey. It's an inbred.
They're like the melon heads.
Yeah. It's just a guy whose parents have been related before marriage, going back generations.
There's a banjo playing whenever he's seen.
Not being a dick, but you can go ghost hunting in a wheelchair. No shame in that. I don't have a wheelchair or use one.
Did you get that super chat from?
Oh, no, I didn't. Thank you, Jason. If ghosts were real, why aren't there 6 million in Germany? Because Jews don't believe in an afterlife, or at least they didn't at that time.
And
ashes to ashes.
I don't think they allow people to spend the night at any of the camps. There might be a good reason for that.
Thank you, Blind Press. Sleep paralysis can make you believe in paranormal.
That's true. I've heard a lot of stories about people with sleep paralysis seeing crazy stuff.
Yeah, never been there, and I hope I never do. That does not sound fun at all.
No, it sounds awful.
I've been trapped in my dreams, but never awake,
Yeah. Fuck that.
No, twice in my life, I've had to scream my way out of dreams. That sucked. The last thing I want to talk about, Jack, since we're on the weird, thank you, Eric Peters, who says Bandcamp.
That's where they put weird things in their vaginas.
It is. And then they tell you about it later.
Yeah.
Deja vu, Jack. What is deja vu? Do you believe in deja vu?
Well, I feel like we've had this conversation before.
We have, but we're on a different audience.
I don't know. There's the science people saying that it's just like a vitamin overload, like B12. If you have too much B12, you can experience a sense of deja vu. But it could also, if you're more inclined to believe it, that you have like a flash of psychic premonition at some point before the event, usually in a dream, that makes the whole scenario seem very familiar. I don't know. I know people that tell me things and then that it happens. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty fucked up.
In chat, give me a 1 if you believe in deja vu. 2 if you're a sad denier. I've experienced it too many times in my life to just say it's not real. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like you just said, there have been times when it's like that scene in Groundhog's Day,
Yeah.
where he's like, and then this guy's going to come in and say this, and I've been able to do that. Look, all these ones. See, science needs to stop denying deja vu and figure out what the fuck it is. They're out there studying some stupid shit. Go figure that out and let me know, because I'm very curious. And a vitamin deficiency is not going to let me know what somebody's going to say. That doesn't make any damn sense. Where I can tell you before they say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that doesn't fill in the blanks. I feel like we do that too much with science. They do that with UFOs and stuff too. Pincalo, thank you. Unfortunately, deja vu has so far been too real for me. I feel like that means something bad happened that you saw coming.
There was a scientific study a while back using MRI where they were able to determine that the human brain could tell something was happening before your eyes could register it to them. Since here's the article.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so that would be
explain it.
A sort of psychic event, in a way, because it would be perceived that way by your body.
The only problem with that is, I mean, I've had some that it's not like I only remember seconds. I remember minutes of stuff that's happened, and know what's coming, a little bit out. It's interesting to me. I think we need to study the brain a lot more than we do.
Oh,
but my point that I was, sorry. The point that I was getting to though is like with UFOs, everything is just dismissed. I understand why science is dismissive. I do. It's smart to be dismissive of a lot of stuff until you get, I'm using air quotes, proof. I just feel like they're too dismissive of stuff sometimes.
Well, yeah, they got a narrative and they don't want to violate it. That's why we see historical anomalies get kind of shunted away into back rooms, that sort of thing.
Yes.
So if they've already crafted the narrative, they don't want to look into it too deep. And then they also get mocked and have their funding pulled by other people that don't want them looking into it. So the UFO thing, the fact that government's releasing more and more information about them and saying, yeah, there's something here, that's, to me, very interesting. That should be studied, because if it's not a foreign aircraft, what is it? Because it still threatens national security. If it is a foreign aircraft, we need to know what it is. So there's a lot of reason to look into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I watched Thunderfoot's debunking of the UFO videos, and he's like, they probably, like the one where they're following that thing that's going really fast. He determined it's a seagull, by the way.
That's a world record setting seagull.
He showed it with some science, and it's like, no, look, at this angle, it would look like the bird is going that fast. And he goes, the pilots probably knew what it was. You can hear the pilots talk.
Yeah, they said they didn't know what it was. These are experienced pilots. They're not Joe Blow, Chode Warrior, who just got his pilot's license. These are people that have to know what they're doing and what their surroundings are at all times. That, I don't know. That pisses me off that he's that dismissive about something, because these guys didn't know what it was. Nobody else knew what it was.
Yeah,
you
and
think
like you
that
said,
the entire intelligence community doesn't know what a seagull flying looks like is? Come on.
Yeah, the Navy, when they release the things, they goes, yes, these are UFOs. We don't know what they are. Thank you, Joe Fapps. I had a really odd feeling when I think there's a friend of my mom died, but I didn't know she died until I came home. I even felt so weird. I walked off my job, wasn't fired though. I get that. I've heard those stories from people too.
Yeah.
They just know. It's really common in twins. If a twin dies, there's a connection that is reported. Devil Fruit Zero, thank you. Deja Mu. I feel like I've heard this BS before. Alien Seagull. Yes. The worst part of it, the thing that drove me nuts about the Thunderfoot thing, he's a scientist. You have all these people telling you we don't know what this is. Experienced people, this is their fucking job to look at shit flying around them. And you think they weren't smart enough to go, yeah, it's a seagull. And as a scientist, you're not even curious that maybe this is like some weird drone that's out there. No, that's a bird. That's a seagull. This is what I'm talking about scientists being dismissive, Jack. You literally have the Navy going, yeah, we don't know what it is. Like, yeah, they knew it was a seagull. Well, way to read their minds, jackass.
Yeah. He's so arrogant. That's what I hate about scientists in general. They're very arrogant, condescending people.
Yep. He's a chemist. That is his field of knowledge. Look, I believe you can look at things and go, okay, this is what it is. Probably based on this distance, you can see how fast something is going. Sure, any scientist can do that. But when you're told that they don't know what it is and you're going, nah, it's a bird. Yeah, that's probably what it was. They're just too fucking stupid to notice. Sailors are too fucking stupid to know what a seagull looks like.
Well, they didn't get a master's degree in science and create a YouTube channel where they know everything.
Oh, God. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I like the fun talks like this. I like talking about ghosts and shit. We should have a ghost story night.
Yeah, we should do that.
Just find a whole bunch of ghost stories and talk about them. Jason, thank you. You need a furry murder hobo. My company produces them and would like to send you one for review. The fuck is a furry murder hobo?
I'd rather not find out, I suspect.
He's not going to murder me in a cat suit or something, is he?
Probably.
Jump off the train. Does he jump off the train and run out and kill somebody in a cat suit?
Yeah, but will the suit be as disheveled as he is inside?
Probably not. I don't think you could be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. Oh, Jack, I fucked my throat up yesterday. Yeah, I did a 4-hour game stream. I didn't mean to. And so last night I didn't even do one. And the not Lords of the Night, Monkey of the Morning was only an hour because I tried to rest it. And now we've been talking for another 2 hours because Chuck Schumer pissed me off. It's amazing how many hours I can get of talking because somebody pissed me off.
That happens.
Oh God! Not saying bye to Monkey. He's not reading it. What? For the record, of all the things you guys say to me when you say goodbye is what I see the most. Because oftentimes me and Jack will talk afterwards, and it's still over here on the side, so I can see it. Jason, thank you. Most people refer to them as kittens. Oh, you have kittens? I want a cat.
Furry murder hobos. He's not wrong. That's a pretty accurate description.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are far more generous than I deserve. Jack, is there anything you'd like to show?
Yeah, I'll throw a link to my latest video, which dropped at 2 p.m. And thanks for the donations. You guys are awesome.
Queen Mary is a ghost. Once a girl, they find her wet footprints by the pool. It's been drained for 40 years. Damn. Yeah, I'm going to have to go on a ghost story hunt. People, send me your best ghost stories over on Twitter. Not to the hashtag. Send them to me. And if Jack, do you want them sent to you too?
No, I'm
not
going to read them. I've got plenty of ghost stories sitting here.
Yeah, just tweet them at me and I'll check them out. You know what? I should start a thread. I'll start a thread over there and hit me up.
Why don't you do a hashtag like Ghost Monkey in the Morning or something like that?
Because I'll forget to look at it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
There we go. Send ghost stories here. Tweet. There we are. Not Ghost Recon Jordan. Stop it. Oh, he did a picture of putting my head on the Ghost Recon cover. Okay. Jason, thank you. I DM'd you about them. I'll check it out. What were we doing?
We were leaving.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Lords of the Night, Scribe Lights channel, guys. And then there'll be a game stream eventually. Remember, Monkey in the Morning is going to be right after Lords of the Night. Probably about 11:30-ish, guys. So, excuse me. It's going to be an early one so I can get some fucking sleep. Because by the time that comes around, Jack, I will have been up for 26 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. So by the time I get to sleep, it'll be about 29 if we keep to a normal size show. So Monkey gonna be tired. So look for an early one, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Jack, thank you for hanging out. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Chuck Schumer.